elected Mayor of Limerick City and County. Mayor Moran, congratulations. How does it feel?
Thanks, David. It feels good. It feels proud to be from Limerick.
As Cathy Halloran was saying earlier on, today obviously is a day of celebration, but there's a lot of hard work ahead.
Yeah, well, look, we've always known. I mean, I think you've seen that the people of Limerick have come out in thousands to vote for this new role. They voted for it 5 years ago to start this breakdown of the centralisation of government in Ireland. So it's a really important day for democracy, not just here in Limerick, but actually across the whole of Ireland. And I think we all know just how much needs to be done. I mean, Limerick is a place that actually is suffering in terms of housing, health, all the issues that apply across the rest of the country. But part of our campaign, which I think has been so warmly received by everybody, was to really have a real plan to actually deliver on that. And, you know, we've been around the account centre for the last couple of days. It's taken a long time, and fair play to all the people who've been counting the votes. But a lot of the conversations have already started with the elected councillors as they've been coming up, and with the council officials about how we're just going to hit the ground running as soon as we get this this show on the road, and probably later this week.
OK, now, as you say, the people of Limerick voted 5 years ago to have a directly elected mayor. At the same time, the good people of Cork and the good people of Waterford voted against. And I'll just quote you something Gerard Howland wrote in the Irish Times about the role of directly elected mayor. It will either be an embarrassing novelty that will never be repeated, or the beginning of a major change in how democracy and politics works. No pressure then.
No pressure, but I think you know which side of that argument I'm on. I mean, this is going to change the way that government and democracy works in Ireland, not just here in Limerick. And I think for 100 years now, we've been taking power away from places like Limerick. And I think I'm putting my money on it that in 5 years' time, Cork and Waterford and indeed Dublin will be rushing to want a plebiscite to change their minds and come back to the way the Limerick people voted 5 years ago. And I can see that in the votes today, you know, and in the last couple of days. You can see a really positive reaction in the debates to this, and fair play to all the other candidates that have actually been, you know, on the hustings, so to speak, with me about showing what this role can be about. And the people responded to that, and you can see that today in the number of people, as I said, from all corners of Limerick that came out positively to vote for what effectively is the biggest change in local democracy in the history of the state.
Now, you are an independent candidate. I don't know whether that was perhaps an advantage given the mood of the electorate at the moment. But part of the job, of course, is to bring the council along with you. So do you think you have the ability, will you be able to get the council, the parties and the other independents to cooperate with you, to work with you for the benefit of Limerick?
Yeah, no, well, look, I see that as the exciting thing, right? Because we're going to change the roles of councillors, we're going to change the roles of TDs in the way this all works, because the mayor sitting in the middle of that will actually replace some of the powers that they have. But I think by expanding the nature of the decision-making here locally in Limerick, the councillors will actually find themselves, in this council particularly, with a lot more decision-making that I think they're ready up for from the conversations I've had with them. And I think the independence of the mayor, which is something I've always been fighting for, and it's not just, I guess, the message that we're hearing across Ireland in the general election for that. This is actually more subtle than that. This is, I think, the people of Limerick listening to the fact that this role is above party politics. In order to be able to work with all those councillors, indeed in order to be able to work with the government ministers that will also be part of the decision-making process, I think the advantage that comes from being an independent is huge, because essentially what you can do now is you can put Limerick first. And you don't have to worry about what party politics says. You can actually sit down, use evidence, use arguments to actually make the case for Limerick. And I think, without any doubt, from the conversations I've had from the councillors that have been, you know, around the county here, they're all up for that too. And I think, you know, we will find an amazing new coalition now in Limerick among the politicians to actually fight for what Limerick deserves.
OK, well, congratulations once again. John Moran, Mayor of Limerick, Ireland's first directly elected mayor.
I think you've